Good morning, Keller Williams.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
like it.
Need some energy this morning, right? Thursday, we're kind of getting ready for the weekend, and I have been ridiculously tired this week, but I'm excited to be here
Yep.
with my buddy Peter today. And this is... Why am I hearing an echo?
Very slight. Probably one of those open windows. But it's not too bad.
Let me check this, guys. Give me just a second.
We love tech issues. That's, I think we'd probably attract tech issues.
I'm just going to get rid of that.
Like if you put out into the universe that you want to fix something, I think it'll bring you a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you for bearing with us. And
That's all good. There's nothing there.
okay, awesome. No idea what that was. But anyway, today we've got some exciting stuff to get into. We are continuing with the 201 Plus Club, and we're tackling it from a different angle. Not really that different, but something that's important that a lot of agents do. And I don't know if all agents are aware of how high of a level an open house could actually go, right?
And the fact that an open house is a lead generation tool rather than just the practice of trying to sell a listing.
Yeah.
It's leveraging the open house to get more leads to build the 201.
Yep, absolutely. So let's jump into our slides here real quick and get this up here for us. So again, we're looking at high-level open houses today, and when we talk about the 201 Plus Club, this is a focus on the plus. All right, and as always, we are gonna contribute to our KW culture here. KW culture is one of the things that sets us apart from everybody else, and today we're looking at the values, and that is God, family, then business. How has that shown up in my market center, or just in my business, here personally? And I would have to say that my family definitely puts God first. We certainly try, and we do our best. We are imperfect beings, but we do our best to do that. And then family always comes first. I have a 10-year-old son that, as you know, if you've seen previous episodes, he has the middle name of Keller, because this company was a turning point in my wife and I's lives. And he came along pretty much the next year. And so he got that awesome name. I actually brought that up to Jason Abrams. Or no, actually, Jason thought that was really cool. But when Mark King was here visiting us for the hurricane, I told him about that, and he goes, "Wow, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to go back and tell Gary that agents are naming their children after him."
Yeah, I think Jason would wonder why you didn't name them Jason. Maybe.
So and then business. So certainly business is important, but we try really hard in my family because we're all involved in Keller Williams. My wife is a productivity coach here in the office. We've been successful agents ever since we started this franchise, and I've been in the business for 20 years this year, actually. And we really try to prioritize. Bold is going on right now in my market center. We just launched yesterday, and so when we look at the calendar and prioritizing and learning how to plan your calendar and time block, kind of put the personal stuff in first. That's one of the things they teach you is if you've got vacations planned for the year, put those in first because those don't change. And if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist.
I think treating your colleagues like family as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, the hurricane response that we all endured, the response from our market centers was one where they were literally putting God, family, and business in the right order.
Yep.
And it definitely, I think it's the culture that is the glue that holds us together rather than, I mean, it sets us apart from other business models, but it definitely holds us together. No two ways about it.
Yeah, that's 100%. I actually got the privilege of meeting some of the team leaders in your offices because Peter is here on the west coast of Florida, but he is the MCTT for offices on the east coast of Florida. And they came over here to take care of us in our time of need when that happened. It was awesome.
Generators, gas.
Yeah.
And we did need it.
Yeah,
we
for
did
sure.
need it. So the big mega open house.
Yes.
That's what we're going to be looking at.
So our objective today to learn how to hold and market a 7th level open house that automates guest follow-up. And our benefits are less time wasted and more attendance at those open houses, and efficient guest lead engagement with immediate follow-up.
Sounds perfect.
Sounds awesome, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
All right, let's see what I got here. So, again, we're looking at the 201 Plus Club, focused on the plus today, and what we're looking at is this line graph where we see that right at the 201 mark is where that GCI starts to take off, and this is 201 plus contacts with intentional healthy contacts, which we talked about in episodes 1 and 2, and also have at the minimum either a biweekly neighborhood nurture or a monthly neighborhood nurture. So it's 201 plus contacts with a smart plan engaged.
Yeah.
Right? And so today, like I said, we are focused on the plus. Open houses are kind of a big thing for everybody. And in this shifting market, open houses are going to become much bigger than they have been because, quite frankly, we haven't needed them in the last couple of years.
No, but they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
I mean, this last weekend, I don't know how many the office had, but it was many.
Yeah.
And learning, it's not brand new skills that we're going to talk about. It's established long-term best practices. But one or two nuances is like when we get the information from the attendees, we need their address, their physical address, to help us to do the neighbourhood nurtures, to keep them informed about their property. We need to know what communities they're interested in. So we've got to ask the right questions. So that's going to lead us into the Shift book, which if you do not have a copy, I would strongly, strongly encourage getting hold of one from the bookstore or from Amazon and reading it, because there's some gems in here.
So as Peter said, we're going to dive into the Shift and page 71. This is an important book right now, everybody, because we are in a shift for sure. It's been going on for probably 90 days or a little more now at this point. It was certainly we started seeing it before the holidays. For us here, it was pretty much when we got hit.
The hurricane.
Yeah.
It consolidated that loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So on page 71, and I'm going to throw this up, but if you look at page 71, we actually have a chart of a high-level open house. So I know this isn't real easy to read. I did my best. I could not find... So I know this exists somewhere in our Keller Williams student packets of some class I've taken before, because I've seen it. But this is the best I could do to actually get it right out of my book. And so it's not the most legible, but it's here for you nonetheless. And we're always... I'm focused right now on being intentional about getting the MCTTs Unleashed Facebook group and Facebook business page going. And in that Facebook group, we're going to actually include any of the slides that we have. So the slide decks will be in there for you to view.
They're already there. So if you look up MCTT with an S, Unleashed, the slides that we used in the last 2 episodes are in there already. So you can just click on them and download them and print them out. And we'll put this one in there, right?
Yep, absolutely. So we want to make sure this stuff's available for you. The memory jogger that a lot of you were interested in and the ultimate memory jogger, those are both in there already too. Cool. Okay.
So we're going to have to read this slide out so people can understand what it's about. So there's 7 levels to operate in an open house. So why don't we cover each one?
Absolutely. So level 1, I think it's safe to say that most of the agents that that are in my office and that I experience, they are beyond a level 1.
Oh yeah.
Yep. far beyond. So that's a step in the right direction. And honestly, I'm going to say that most of my agents are going to at least level 4 in this. So that's good because that puts us, about halfway through. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, level 1 is a sign in the yard. Level 2 is sign in the yard plus sign in yard with balloons and riders. And now, just a disclaimer here. You always need to check with your HOA or city rules because we have a city here in our county that actually doesn't allow the balloons and all of that. And then a lot of HOAs won't either. So you just gotta check. So just that little disclaimer there for you. And then a level 3 is the sign in the yard, sign in yard with balloons and riders, and directional signs at all corners with balloons and riders. And then level 4, can you read that, Peter? You want to let them know
I
about
can't
level
see
4?
from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So sign in yard with balloons and riders, directional signs at all key corners and balloons and riders. And then flyers the week before, email invites, and posted on websites. So that's the big thing. I see a lot of the agents here in my office doing a lot of the social media advertising, which is phenomenal because in this day, you have to do that. So,
So we had a question from a Facebook user about whether this is recorded. Yes, it is. So it's going to be available on our YouTube channel, which is MCTTs Unleashed, and you'll be able to just go and Google that, and it'll take you right to the channel, and it'll be episode 3, but it won't be available for a little while till after the broadcast.
Yep.
So thanks for the question. Whoever you are, we need to cover that.
Yeah, so let me cover that, and I'm actually going to go here, and we're going to throw this up. So when you are commenting, if you could actually go to https://streamyard.com/Facebook, and that will actually allow Facebook to know who you are so that we actually get your avatar and your name and all that so that we can talk to you more personally and not have you on there as Facebook users. So if you could do that, anybody who's watching this live and you want to send us a question or a comment, if you could just go to that address, streamyard.com/Facebook, and then give them the permissions.
Perfect. So we're at level 4 of the 7 levels.
Yes, so level 4, and actually that's the one that I just mentioned. So we are seeing that. I know Peter and I have talked about this quite a bit. Peter, you're seeing your agents are doing that kind of stuff too, right?
So what was the 4th one?
So
Flyers.
the 4th one is your social media advertising.
Yeah. So I see many agents post on social media, but that's not enough. You've got to run an ad on social media.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So that you've got 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 local people that you reach with that ad. A post done a few days earlier, you might get 100, you might get 50 people see it. It's simply not enough. It's worth putting the few dollars in that it takes to get the reach. It costs about $10 per 1,000 people that see your ad. So we put in $30, you're going to get 3,000 or so people will actually, and they're people that you've targeted who are interested in what we're doing.
That's awesome. And that's probably a step that would go hand in hand with level 5. So level 5 is all the stuff that we talked about, plus it adds door knocking. Go invite 100 neighbors. Now, I would much rather create an ad for $30 than go door knock 3,000 homes.
True. I mean, it's going to take you a few weeks. The house was probably sold.
That's right.
So, but the thing about doing the door knocking, so one, it's a common courtesy to let the people in the neighbourhood know that we're going to be holding an open house. We're hoping it's a mega open house, so there might be some extra traffic that day, and please bear with us and be patient. But also, they may know somebody who wants to live in that community. So they can then invite their friend, their contact that may come along to the open house that we just don't know who that person is, because you're getting 50, 100 doors around the property. You're getting people who can refer buyers to that open house.
Absolutely.
So that's the purpose of it.
And
again, I get HOA rules come into it. My
Sure.
community, you're not allowed to door knock. Just is what it is.
Yeah,
No canvassing.
And the funny thing about that for me is you're not soliciting anything. You're not selling anything.
I know. But You know what the guys at the HOA are like? They'll just
Yeah.
come around and start ripping your signs out and
That's right.
yelling at you in the street. So
Yeah. So yes, just always make sure that you're complying with your city regulations, HOA rules, things like that.
and on that ad, we're going to
yeah.
actually show you exactly the steps to take to build the ad and what to include in it. That's going to be shown today.
Yeah,
So we're going to cover
we've
that.
got awesome demos, and hopefully we can get through it. If we go a little overtime on this one today,
We
I'm
might.
okay with that, because the idea is that we're providing the live demonstration for you, and the recording will be up so that you can refer to that. So we don't want to cut it short. We're going to get through what we need to get through, so we might go a little bit longer. And appreciate you sticking around with us. If you do have to go, then we understand that too, and the recording will be there for you. But this is some fun stuff. So here's what we're demoing today. I am going to demo what I mentioned on the last episode, and that is building an electronic open house sign-in sheet through command. It's all going to be done through command with the exception of the QR code, and I'm going to take you to a free QR code generator. And then we're also going to jump into Canva. We're going to have some fun with Canva today. I know a lot of people, a lot of agents are interested in Canva, that aren't using it already. So I'm just going to go in there real quick, show you how you would build a open house flyer to have right there at the front door that your guests can scan that QR code and then go to the page. And then, Peter, you want to tell them what you're doing?
Well, we're going to construct a Facebook ad from scratch using the command tools and talk about targeting, talk about what we should include in that ad and what maybe we should exclude. There's going to be a major row about that, just to let you know, between me and Mr. Brett here, because we disagree, but that's okay.
we're gonna have some fun on a polite, respectful, and constructive debate.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Peter, one of the things I have to do as we were setting up, I lost your invite for the other computer, so I'm going to redo that for you now. And then if anybody has any questions or comments, please let us know. If there's anything you're intrigued by with what we told you that we're going to do. I'm just going to take care of this real quick.
Or if there's anything that you've got a specific question about, it can be anything related, because the purpose of these sessions is it's a training session with a slightly different format. And what we're trying to do is to create the energy around and the excitement around what we do, because they are, after all, some of them mundane tasks, but we can make them fun and we can make them more effective. So that's the purpose of the podcast. And the format in which we do it allows questions. And we do get questions coming through. So all you've got to do is post a comment on this live stream, and we'll see that here on our computer and be able to respond to any questions that you have. So that would be cool. And if you really want to go the extra level, is give StreamYard permission that we showed you earlier to show your name, then we know who you are. So we're going to be setting up two screens. One of them is to demonstrate the Facebook ads and also posting to other channels such as Twitter and Instagram. And there's some updates around the corner about connected channels, I believe, down the line. Nothing official yet, but I think there's going to be some extra new channels coming up after family reunion. So that's really exciting to look forward to. It has been mentioned.
Yep, absolutely.
Officially.
Lots of announcements coming out at family reunion, so that's going to be exciting. Peter, if you want to jump over to your email and accept that, I think we're going to follow the way that we would normally do this with an open house. So the ad's going to come first. So once we get Peter up and running here, we'll have Peter go ahead and show us how we get that Facebook ad out there. And then once he's done with that demonstration, we're going to jump right into building out the landing page. That's essentially what it is. So if you've ever been intrigued by the landing pages that are in the consumer applet in Command, we're going to jump into that today. You're going to see one best practice for using that, and that's for this open house electronic sign-in sheet.
Right, so let's get started on the Facebook ad. So with the Facebook ad, we want to use Command, use the campaign sections in Command. So when you first log in, if you click on the KW logo at the top left, it expands the menu so that you can read what these various icons are. And halfway down is campaigns. And that's what we're going to be clicking to get to the page that we need. And then we're going to go right to create campaign, top right hand corner, the green button. And then it's going to give us some choices. So if you don't want to spend any money on this, doing a social post is okay. It's going to help. It's going to get some reach, but unfortunately, very little. Even if you've got 5,000 friends on Facebook, you'd be lucky if 30 to 50 people get to see that, maybe a few more. So we're going to go ahead and give this campaign a name. And once we've done that, we're going to choose which type of campaign we're doing as a goal. So this is an event awareness because it's an open house. Then you select the platform you want to use, in this case Facebook, and create campaign. So now we have a basic outline of what the campaign is going to look like and what the ad looks like. And we will first of all import a listing into this campaign. You can of course use one of your own listings, or you can pull from any of the KWLS listings, of which there are thousands, but you do have to have permission of the agent to use the listing. Even though they've given you permission to do an open house, it's worth just checking that it's okay to use the photographs. So with various sections, and we're going to look at all of them. So we're going to have a heading, a description, and we're going to import the listing so that it pre-populates with the photograph of the listing and the text that the agent's chosen. In this case, I'm switching from only my listings to all listings because it's another agent's listing. Then I'm going to go to MLS number. Once we've got that in, we'll be able to pull from the MLS the photographs instantly, which is very cool, and the description of the property. So this is the one, 469 Southwest North Quick Circle. Hit select, and that will bring the property in. So now we can see the basics of what the ad is going to look like. We have some text with space for a headline, and we have the call to action, which is the learn more button, and obviously an attractive photograph of the listing. Again, important to use quality photographs, preferably from a professional photographer. Makes a big difference for the click-through rate. So if we scroll down here, we can see where the headline goes, and we're going to put what it is, which is an open house, when it is, and the dates. So you're limited to 25 characters, so I might have to knock off the Sunday and just put sun and abbreviate it so that I can fit in the date. Exactly 25 characters, so that looks good. Then in the main copy up above, we're going to have the main call out, which is what this ad's about, and make it very clear from just a very quick look, because people look at different parts of the ad. They'll look at the who it's from, the Keller Williams logo. They will look at the text, and they will go down to the title, first of all, where it says open house. Then they'll go back to read the ad. So the main call out when they're reading the ad is the fact that it is an open house. So what I'm going to first do is add some emojicons. They have been proven to improve an ad's click-through rate so that you do get more leads. So I'm going to use the bedroom icon and the bathroom icon and insert them here because it's easier for the brain, because you're just scanning down social media, to see what this ad is about and to get an idea about the property. So we're going to include those emojicons, and those icons are in place. And one that I do like to add is the one with a picture of a house so that we can demonstrate that we're talking about a property for sale. All right, it's looking good. Next thing we're going to do is put in text about what the ad is aiming to inform from the word go. So I like to use capital letters here so that it stands out. And what I put in there is open house this weekend. Don't need to put the date and timing because it's already in the headline down below. Oh, I've got to put some description in there. That's just down here. So we're going to add in again, open house. Open house, Port St. Lucie. It's okay to use the abbreviation PSL. It's well known. Right, so we've got the ad ready. So it's looking how we want it. We've got call to action in there. We've got what it is. The example.com, you can see that will change when we select the settings for a lead ad. So I'm going to go to that next. So we've got the text done, we've got the media done, and we're going to configure the Facebook settings. And this is the page on which it's going to show and the type of page. So we're not doing a site or landing page. First, we're doing a click to a form, and the form is going to generate the lead response. So we want to click that. First thing we're going to do is select the page. Florida Home Sales is the business page I've got connected. Then the next stage is to make sure the buttons are correct. And then we're going to have a URL, which is where the customer is going to end up after they have clicked the form and given us their name, phone number, and email. The URL is simply the listing on your KW website. So what I've done is I've gone into kw.com, put the address in, and it's brought me to the page for the website. This will show the consumer all the photographs that are available, the full description, summary of the square footage, and all the features of the home. So we simply copy that link and then paste that into the URL space here, and that will be the destination. And hit paste. What I like to do is just double check. Yeah, what happens is you get two HTTPSs, so we just need to remove one of them. Just make sure I blank this all out. And paste again. Just watch for that because it would create an error that we don't want. So a little green wheel spins and it just confirms that the landing page is live and active and suitable for use with this type of advertisement. I've got to keep getting that in. Right, the next question is, where are we going to show the ad? So the Facebook algorithm is very powerful and you don't need to give it too many hints. What you need to do is tell it where we're going to show the ad, which is Port St. Lucie, and the radius from the property. And I think that should be 25 miles. The reason is that's about the distance people are willing to travel to attend an open house at the maximum. So we're going to put 25 miles in there. Then we've got United States and Port St. Lucie. And that will do for now. It's called the auto audience and it's what's recommended. There is some pre-programming in the background to get to the right people that may consider coming to an open house or at least want to be aware of the listing. You can use custom audiences, which is where you put in, say, users that have recently been on Zillow and recently been on Realtor.com, might be interested in real estate. They could be interested in single family homes. There's all sorts of advanced features, but that would be more for a lead generation campaign. For an open house, we simply want to reach as many people as possible for our $10 in ad spend. So the less we put in there, the more reach that we have. So I'm going to click save. Then the next is lead settings. That's where you put in what do you want to have as a tag so that you can find your leads in command later. So we're going to have open house tag, which I think I've already got one. If not, it'll create one. Yep, the open house tag is there. So we simply select it and that will add that tag. So when I'm looking for leads, it will say open house and I'll be able to find them. Then we're going to assign them to a smart plan so they get follow-up. I use the Kimber Walton smart plans, which I think you'll agree, Brett, they're just another class.
Absolutely. Kimber's amazing with smart plans.
Yeah, so we've got the Kimber Walton smart plan. That's one we're going to select. We're going to click save. The final thing is the budget. So ideally, we want to run this for at least a week. So we should be pre-planning our open houses, not going right Thursday, I think I'll do an open house on Saturday. Got to find a listing, talk to an agent that might let me do an open house in their listing if you haven't got your own. Then trying to get all that done in 2 days. That's the killer for trying to have a mega open house. We've got to say, right, on Monday, we'll have our launch with the ad live. So we need to be thinking about it the Saturday before, a full week, so that we've got that in place. So in this case, we're going to set this to run for 7 days up to the date of the open house, and we're going to have a budget of, say, $10 per day. So it depends on what you want to spend. Again, everybody's budget is different. Some people, can comfortably afford $60, $70 for an open house ad. You will get massive results with that type of budget. It doesn't need to be that high, but the more you invest in the reach and in the number of people that see your ad, the more leads you're going to get and build the database. So I'm going to set this up for $10 a day, which is what the budget that I would be using. So the overall campaign will be $100 because I'll be doing it for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we're going to run in these for 7 days. So then we just click save. And then we are ready to publish the campaign, which I won't do because it will literally charge my credit card. And I don't want to do that right now. But you can see the ad looks great. It's a good picture of the home, a call to action of learn more. It now says form on Facebook, so people know that it's going to be requesting their information securely within Facebook. We're not, because a lot of leads that we get nowadays come from Facebook lead ad forms, whereas in the past we used to have to take them to a website,
right,
have them sign up on the website, and that's when people would balk and go, oh, I'm not putting my personal information into this unknown website. People are much more confident in having their information pulled within Facebook. So the form on Facebook is there. We've got information right at the top saying open house, and we're making that point, so it's nice and clear. So all you got to do is publish it, and make sure you do that 24 hours ahead of when you want it to go live, because that's how long it takes to approve and get the ad actually published. So we want to be running this on Sunday and ready to start the ad on a Monday morning.
Awesome. So, Peter, can you hit the drop down there for Facebook settings? And let's just be really clear about how we're doing that lead capture.
Yep.
Like we talked about. So there's a lot of confusion in, and this one in particular would get confusing because we are building a landing page, which is what I'm going to demonstrate. However, that's not where we want our leads to go. Okay. The 99.99% of the time, you are always going to use a Facebook lead generation form because, as we've mentioned before, Facebook knows more about us than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So when you click on that, it's actually going to automatically populate that person's information that Facebook has from their account. It's going to ask them if this information is correct. They're going to say yes, and they're going to click, and then it's going to go on to, in this case, the website, right, with that property that Peter demonstrated. Very, very, very rarely would you ever use a site or landing page, because essentially what you're doing is you're taking them to somewhere, and to capture their information, you're probably going to ask for it right away, and most people are just going to click and bounce out. So the vast majority of agents, the vast majority of the time, there's really no reason to use a site or landing page. It's going to be the Facebook lead generation form. And to that point, if you've done Facebook ads in the past and you have gotten 0 leads, that is pretty much the reason why. Is a lot of times you're thinking, well, yeah, I'm taking them to a site, a website, or a landing page. So, well, of course I would click that, but that's not exactly what that means. It doesn't matter where you're taking them. It's how are you capturing that information, and the best way to do that, the best practice, is to leave that Facebook lead generation form checked.
Yeah, so it's a little ambiguous because you think, well, I'm sending them to a landing page. You're doing both. You're sending them on the way to the landing page to the Facebook lead registration form, and then after that to the landing page. It's just the language in this is a little ambiguous, but I don't think there's a way around it. All right, cool.
Awesome. So I bet if I remove this, we're going to get rid of that echo too.
I think so.
Okay. Nope. Now, where is that coming from? It's driving me crazy.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing on here.
Okay.
And see whether that fixes it. Yes, it did.
It did.
It did.
Nope. Still there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Right, let's shut down the page. See if that fixes it. Yes, it did.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we will get these kinks figured out. We appreciate you bearing with us. Now let's have fun and jump into, I'm going to share my screen now, and we are going to jump into Canva and command.
You know, Canva is worth $60 billion for two Australian guys in a bedroom who put together a basic design app.
That does not surprise me.
Billion.
Yeah. Holy cow.
It was 100 billion at one point. It's come down a little.
Hey,
unbelievable.
Hey, Gary, if you're looking for an awesome art program,
if you want to basically take everything you've ever done in your whole life and put it into one app, then there we go.
Canva is amazing, and I know a lot of agents are very intrigued by it. I can tell you that I use it pretty much every day, whether it's building graphics for agents in my office, creating flyers for events that we're doing in the office, or even just creating YouTube channel thumbnails and video thumbnails and things like that. Facebook cover photos, YouTube channel cover photos. I use it almost every day.
Yeah, and the Canva video. I've got an agent. I'll call her name, Tabitha Campbell Flick. She's created these. It's basically animating a still image.
Yeah.
By inserting video into sections of the still image, and it looks like she spent thousands of dollars on her marketing.
That's awesome. So I can't wait for Peter to show me that. I haven't seen that. That is the one part of Canva I haven't really messed with yet, is the video creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the pro account. You need the pro account.
Well, I have one with an extra seat that I might have to share with my co-host here.
That sounds cool.
That's the cool thing about Canva. So this wasn't meant to be a plug for Canva, but since we're talking about it, I'll let you know. Canva is a fantastic value. So that is one thing, whether it's here on MCTTs Unleashed or on my personal channel, Realty Tech Guru, I'm always talking about value technology. I want the best bang for the buck I can get, whether it's hardware, software, whatever it is. And Canva is I think it's $139 a year. So relatively affordable, right? I mean, I would say very affordable for what subscriptions cost these days. And that gets you 5 users. So it's pretty awesome. So think about that. Like if you're a real estate team and you're making graphics all the time, Canva's a great choice. Okay, so let's jump in here. And we're going to take a look at command first. All right. So let's just double check, make sure everything looks good. Looks like we are good. All right, so we are going to jump into the consumer applet. And then we're going to go to landing pages. All right. Now, if you're following along with us either now or in the future, watching the recording, you click on landing pages. If you've never created one, you won't have anything here in this list. The only reason I have things showing up here is because I mess around with landing pages all the time. And so when you first click on landing pages, it's showing you whatever you've already built. And what I want to do now is go over here to create new. So I'm going to click on create new page. All right. And do I want this to be on my agent site or as a separate landing page? So in this instance, this is going to be a separate landing page because it's serving a single purpose of being an electronic sign-in sheet for this particular open house. So we're going to click on that. Create page. And then I'm going to give it a name. And then, Peter, I'm going to ask you for the name or for the address of that property. I'm just going to continue with the same theme.
Sure, exactly. So the address is 469. It's confusing this. Southwest.
I'm just going to use SW.
North.
Oh, jeez. This sounds like Cape Coral.
Quick Circle.
Quick Circle.
That's it.
Although the address is not quick.
No. It's every direction going.
All right. And then this is going to be our open house sign in. So I'm going to give it that name and we're good.
So that name that you're putting in there, that's just for saving it? It's not going to be seen by the public? Or
it's not going to be seen by the public. No.
So you remember what
this is just so that I know what the file is. That's a great question. This is just so I know what the file is. Okay. Because I always want to be intentional. No matter what we do in real estate business or in our roles as MCTTs, we need to be intentional. We need to be organized. I've mentioned before that I've worked with agents, trying to help them with certain things, and I ask them to go find a file, and they can't find the file because they just leave it down. It has the name of whatever the printer gave it, and if you have one of these big printers in your office, it gives it a bunch of numbers and letters that don't make any sense.
The last file open mentality. It's the only way we can find anything is the last file open.
Yeah. So we want to be intentional about our organization and the name that we give files. So yeah, that's what it's for.
Cool.
But nobody else will see it. Okay, so what I typically like to do then is I'm going to throw, and here's what we're looking at. So this is a WYSIWYG editor. You know what that means?
What you see is what you get.
There we go.
Yes.
That's exactly what that means. So if you ever hear some nerd like me talk about WYSIWYG, that's what that means. It's what you see is what you get. So this is my workspace here in the big rectangle, and then I'm checking widgets over here and bringing them over. So I'm going to bring over my branded header. Okay. And then I'm going to bring over my, let's see, my listing. Is that what I want? No, I want my lead form. Okay. So we're going to do our lead form there because this is actually what they're going to give me their information on.
Right.
All right. And then I'm going to bring in the listing. Okay. So I'm just dragging and dropping.
So what you're really doing is building a website.
I'm building a single page website. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we have our branded header. We have our lead form. We have the listing. And then what I typically do is I'll bring in a market snap of that neighborhood around that that property. So I'm going to bring my market snap in here. Okay. Now, Barton Hills is a neighborhood in Austin, apparently. So just keep in mind, these are placeholders. We haven't given them any accurate information yet.
Gotta configure them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got market snap, and then I always put the download my app on here too, because they're going to be using their
most
mobile
people
device.
On a cell phone, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that's there. And let's see, what else do I put here? I believe I will typically put my agent branding on there, and I'm good to go. So I just built it out. How long did that take me while I was talking?
I don't know, 45 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, right? So super quick. All right, so we're gonna go to.
And while it looks a little clunky on here, when it actually comes out as the finished product, it all seamlessly mashes together in a nice looking single web page. So what we're looking at is the individual widgets which have the code in them to do whatever task they're set to do.
Yep.
But they'll all resize nicely.
Yes, absolutely. And mobile friendly too. All of our Keller Williams technology is built for mobile.
Yeah. And we've got to remember, Brett's using the biggest computer monitor. I think it's bigger than anything NASA have, certainly SpaceX. It's the biggest screen you've ever seen. It's a single, it must be, I don't know, 4 feet wide.
It's a 49-inch, yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, my eyes are functioning less and less as every day goes by because I stare at screens for the last 20 years, right? But yes, it's very handy having this, and sometimes it looks funky. But anyway, okay. So we've got everything built out here. And then now we're going to go down here to the bottom right corner of our command page, and we're going to click on Configure Widgets. So I'm going to click Configure. I'm going to start with my branded header and make sure the information in here is correct. If it is not, it gives me the opportunity to include that. All right. And then we're going to hit Save and Apply. Oh, I forgot my header text. So this is the main reason I have this on here. And literally this is the main reason I have this on here, is so that I can get a title of what this page is for the guest.
Yeah.
Yep. So it'll say, welcome to our open house. Right. I could throw the address in there too if I wanted to, whatever you want that message to be, but it's typically a welcome message that provides this page a title. Right. Save and apply. Now I can see that title up there.
Cool.
And then we're going to use the navigation arrows here, and I'm just going to start going through the widgets. So now interested, let's talk. I don't like that at all. So we're going to say, please sign in to our open house. How many characters do I have? We're going to see what we get here. Please sign in to our open house for full info and photos. Okay. Now they don't know. They don't have to know that they're going to get that whether they sign in or not because they haven't scrolled down yet, right? So I'm going to give it a message like that to entice them that if you give me this information, this is what you're going to get. Realistically, on the page, if they scroll down, they're getting all that information anyway.
You missed an E off the please.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Nothing like being accurate.
No, well, nothing like an Englishman correcting my English language too. I love it.
I have no right to correct anybody. My English skills. I passed at school. But that was about it.
Good. There
was no flying colors.
So we're gonna hit save and apply.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so now we can see that's there. And then I'm going to move on to the next widget. And now we're going to plug in that listing. So the listing
So you want the RX number? Well, you can do it by address or you can do it by MLS.
Yeah, I'll just do it by address and see if it comes up. So, and actually, the main reason I want to do it by address, I just want to mention this. You have to keep in mind that when you're searching all listings, when you're searching for any listing in Command, it's going to default to only my listings as far as what it's asking to show. And that's why if you're trying to find a listing and it's not popping up, make sure that you change that. It doesn't happen to pop up in this particular part of Command, but in a lot of places where you're trying to plug in listings, like in the ads
it does. Yeah.
In the ads it does. You want to make sure that you're going to all listings, and you're probably going to have to put in everything through the city and state, because our Keller Williams listing service, if you're not aware, is all of North America. It is all of the United States and most of Canada. I don't think it's quite all of Canada yet, but it is most of Canada. So you have to get a little bit more specific, or use the MLS number like Peter's saying, because that will be that will definitely filter through everything a lot faster. So does it use SW?
Yeah.
Okay. And then North.
SW, yeah.
Quick circle. And what city is it?
That should do it.
Okay,
It's Port St. Lucie, but that should do it.
So we'll hit search, and there it is, Port St. Lucie, but that's a lot.
So why I like to
right here. Okay, so and it's showing you older listings, right?
Yeah.
So, so this is it right here because I remember the price, and we can see it's a current listing.
That is the one.
Yep. So we're gonna hit select. And here's the cool thing. Do you see how it brought in all of the photos?
Not only that, did you see how quickly it brought in all the photos?
Very fast.
I use another product, which I love, Listings to Leads. It takes 2 minutes, 3 minutes to import the photos from the MLS. This is because this is actually an MLS, the KWLS. All the photos are there instantly. So it's a time saver.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Okay, so we're gonna go through here and see which photo is the best. I always kind of like these aerial shots. I know the first one there is a pretty good one too, but I'm just going to take this drone shot first, hit save and apply. And now that I see it, I can see all those power lines and I don't like it.
Yep.
So I can go back and choose this one and then hit save and apply. And now we get that shot, and that is a much better looking photo. But I have all of these things. So if, I have all the photos in here. So if it was waterfront and the waterfront's the best feature of that house,
you pick that
then you can use the waterfront photo. Now, this is just to provide the first photo. The customer is still going to have, the guest of your open house is still going to have all of the photos to go through. All right. So that one's good. And now
to peruse.
to peruse. So now we're going to the market snap, and what's our area code there? Do you know our zip code?
I do not know it.
34953.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to type in 34953 because what we're doing here is we are providing them the market stats for the market snap. If you haven't heard of market snaps yet, they are an amazing feature that we have in Command that basically pulls market statistics for active listings, pending listings, and sold data, and gives it to you just like that.
Yep.
In a snap.
In a snap. Market snap.
Okay, so then we're going to say, I typically say something along the lines of market. And I don't, this is just me, I guess. I don't abbreviate things when I'm creating something for customers. So instead of saying market stats, and this is just a personal preference, I'm actually going to say market statistics. Statistics, if I can spell it, for.
There's nothing like spelling live. The little area of your brain where all your spellings are stored just gets turned right off. It's like, how do I spell hammer? Space.
All right, so we're going to go Port St. Lucie, and then it's actually going to ask me to choose the neighborhood. Because remember, when we're doing market snaps, it's actually using nextdoor.com neighborhoods. And I have no idea which one it is because this is not.
No, for the purpose of this
area.
Exercise, we'll just randomly.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna choose the first one.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna hit save and apply, and now we can see that this is actually drilled down to that neighborhood in Port St. Lucie. Okay, and then here's our data for the area. All right, so then we're gonna move.
Do you know what I really like about this?
What's that?
How many pending?
8.
Yeah.
One active listing.
So that says to the consumer coming to the open house, I don't have as much choice as I may have thought
Absolutely.
I do.
Yeah, very, very good point. So, yeah, think about this. You're giving them access to this. So they've scanned the QR code, they've registered, they've started to scroll down now, and they're seeing the market stats, and they're going, looks like everything's going under contract around here.
Making an offer on this one.
That's right. So great point.
So save and apply so don't lose it.
Yeah, I think I already did. Yep, because that's actually what converts it from the placeholder in Austin to this. And then we're going to hit our next one.
Checking Brett. He loves that.
Nope. Hold me accountable. Got to. Okay, so then download the KW app, and then we have our message here. And that is my app link. So that looks good. Going to hit save and apply. And then one last widget, and we have our branding here. All right, and save and apply.
Yeah. Now, if you were doing one of our top level open house strategies, we're going to cover before we finish the podcast, is to have a door prize, a kind of a free raffle for a prize.
Sure.
You could put in this when they sign in. You're also now entered into the drawing, so you could include that anywhere on this page.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could put that up here. Please sign into our open house and to register for the drawing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now that you bring that up, Peter, this is a great opportunity to co-brand your marketing and co-host open houses with your vendors.
Oh yeah,
because you could get the vendor to supply that door prize, and a lot of times it's an Amazon gift card of $25 or $50, whatever the price value may be.
But who doesn't want to win?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm signing in.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just to give that extra encouragement. It's what's called a MOFA.
Yep, a MOFA.
So you're making an offer for an instant response. So they're going to fill out the form, give you the information. In exchange, they're going to get the opportunity to win the gift card. So it's a cool way of doing it. And like you say, if you get the sponsor to come along, an inspector or a mortgage provider, they usually have a budget for this kind of thing.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so we're good with that. Now we're going to publish the page.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm going to say yes. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my landing pages, and here's the page right here. So now we're going to take a look and see what that page actually looks like. All right, so I'm going to click on the page.
And don't panic at that point. Don't panic. It takes you back to the list of the website pages. It doesn't take you back to the landing pages. So you just got to slide along that menu. That's where you appear. You think, my page has vanished. It's not. It's on the next tab.
Yeah. So what we were creating is a landing page. The way that command works is when you save something, it just defaults to the first tab of that applet. So you just click on landing pages, and it was right there. All right. So this is where I left you off, and we are going to go to that page. All right. So this is the landing page that was built out. When I jumped over here, you didn't get to see any of this as I see now. So as I was saying, it's been formatted, as Peter was talking about, to look nice for the screen. We can scroll through all of the photos. All right. We have the details for the market snap right here for that particular neighborhood. Download my app, and then the agent branding at the bottom. So now I want to build an open house flyer with the QR code on it that the guests can scan and find their way to this page to get registered for me. All right, so I'm going to go to QR code generator, and that's qr-code-generator.com. It's 100% free. And let me go back over here because we're going to right click on the URL for our landing page. We're going to copy it. Then go back to QR code generator. And then right here where it says enter your website text or drop a file, we're going to right click and paste. And then you're going to see the QR code change. All right, so the QR code has changed. And then I'm going to click on download. And when this pops up, it looks like you need to sign up here. You don't. Just let it do its thing. If you see up at the top, this bar, it says your QR code is being generated. Please do not refresh or exit. Now I'm getting a pop-up to save, asking me where I want to save that QR code. So I'm going to choose where it's saving. And then I can get out of that screen because I already have it. So we're good. And now I'm going to run over to Canva. Okay. So I'm on Canva. I'm going to go up to the top and create a design. Now, Canva is a 100% free software too, as far as I say 100%. It's a free software application, cloud-based. So it's a website, nothing you have to download to your computer, although they do have it as a downloadable application now.
They do?
Yep. Came out earlier this year, later last year. Yep.
Yeah.
But you can use it in the cloud, which I always do. I didn't download the application. And there is a lot that you can do in here with the absolutely free account. However, I do have a paid subscription. Like we said, it's $139, I believe, for the entire year. And that gives you 5 users, which is very affordable, great value. So I'm going to click on create a design. And then I don't see exactly what I'm looking for. Yep, there it is. So this is actually keeping a record of the searches that I've created, and flyer has been one of those searches before. So I can just go to flyer, although I don't necessarily want landscape. So I'm just going to type that in. We're going to go flyer, and I can choose portrait. So I'm going to choose portrait. Going to bring me right in here. Now, I'm just going to do something very simple, obviously, but when you do ask for a template, it's going to give you all kinds of options over here on the left-hand side in that navigation, so that, you can choose from it. And then what happens is when you bring something in, everything in here is editable. So not edible. Don't eat the screen. Editable. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to hit delete, and then I can hit delete. And so I can take something, basic, and then I say something basic. I can take something fancy and then just get rid of everything that I don't want. So, and this is what I find myself doing a lot of the time. Peter, do you use Canva?
Not. I have the Adobe suite. Just to throw in a little. I pay a lot of money for it.
Yeah, me too.
And because of that, I do use it. So
you force yourself to because of the price, right?
Although the last flyer that I made, I used Canva, and I was very happy with the result. And I used a free template, and it was cool. It did the job, and it was fast, really fast.
Yeah, it is very fast. So I'm just going to do something real quick here. Welcome to our open house. Okay. And then here's the other thing. If I want the text to look the same, I'm just going to right click this, duplicate it, and then I can pull it down. Okay. And then I'm going to say
scan QR code to sign in.
The QR. Exactly. Scan the QR code to sign in or register, whatever your terminology is. Okay. So like that. And then down here, I'm going to get rid of that. Now, I realize I'm moving fast, but it's because we're
We've got to watch time as well.
Yeah, we're over time, and this isn't a Canva instruction necessarily. But we will have that. You know what? Go ahead and comment down below. Let us know if you'd like to see an episode where we use Canva. So I'm going to click on uploads over here, and then I'm going to go to upload files. Here's the QR code that we brought in. And so now I can just add that QR code, and I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to size this down a little bit, stick it in this little box because it seemed like the perfect place to put it. All right. And now I have a flyer.
Perfect.
And so this would go at my table, right? And asking them to sign in here. And then we're ready to go.
And what we didn't mention, which we should, which we probably did, but the whole point of this, scan, complete the information. A lot of those fields will pre-populate on your landing page because you're on a cell phone and the browser knows what a name field is and then what have you.
Right.
Go straight into add to your 201.
Yeah.
Straight into command.
Yep. And so here's the other thing. So we're going to finish off with the last step. I'm not going to build it out because we don't have that kind of time, but I'm going to show you what the smart plan looks like for open house follow-up, because here's the point of this. When you have the smart plan, you can actually have them in the way that I've set my smart plan up is that it generates a custom tag for that open house, right? And then that custom tag from that lead will trigger the smart plan.
Yeah.
And the smart plan is thanking them for attending the open house before they even walk out the door.
Yeah.
That first one's immediate. So that's what we were talking about in our...
That can be a text message, right?
Sure.
So you can say thank you for registering, email, whatever. You're entered in the prize draw, whatever you want to put on there.
So I think on my particular smart plan, email is the only thing that I required on the form.
Right.
You can set required fields, which we didn't really get into.
Yeah.
But email is the only thing that's required. So I think that's how I have mine.
That's fine. So by email, send them an acknowledgement to having attended.
So we're going to jump into smart plans here in command. And then I'm going to look for, here it is right here, open house follow-up. All right, let me make sure this is the right one. I do believe. Okay. So if I go to, I'm going to go over here to edit so we can see what these steps look like. Okay. So you can see that when it comes in, it's automatically giving the lead a contact trigger of the open house, right? With the address. And I'm very intentional about my custom tags. Right now, the query doesn't work for and. So like open house and address tag.
Right.
It only works for or. So I put those together. So open house and the address, that's the actual tag. That will then launch this smart plan. And we can see that, and I do have this set up as a text. And so it's going to say send text to, or no, do I have this as a tag or a task? I have this as a task because the reason I was doing this is for, this is one that I used previously in training. And if you don't have Twilio, if you don't want to connect Twilio or it's not in your budget, you can create the task to send the text and then just use the task description to actually copy and paste from that you can put in your phone. Okay, but then I also have the email here too. So these are both going out immediately. Okay, and then we enjoyed meeting you today at our open house and blah, blah, blah. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you like the home. If for some reason you didn't and you're not currently working with a realtor, then we would love the opportunity to earn your business and find your perfect home. Which method of communication do you prefer? Phone call, text, or email? Is it okay to periodically check in with you this way to assist in your search?
Yeah. So what's really, really cool, I've done a lot of split testing on the first initial follow-up. People will respond to that with email or chat or text without having to reveal too much about their home search.
Right.
But they've been asked a question, very simple reply, it starts the conversation. So I found that, and it's just cool that it's there, to be a really effective initial follow-up email.
Yeah.
It's a very good way. How do you want to talk? Because a lot of people, I found more and more want to use text. And that surprised me because I thought text is my personal space on my phone.
Right.
I don't want salespeople in it, right? Which is what we are.
Yeah.
So I found that odd, but no, they do. They want to communicate by text.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's important whether you're in a buyer consultation, you're having your first buyer consultation, you're on a listing appointment, they've signed, what method of communication do they prefer? Because everybody's different. Yes, text is kind of like even those of older age are seeming to adapt. I'm looking at you because you're my co-host. I'm not saying anything about the age.
The Beatles were still going when I was born. Very much so. But they were in the heyday.
but it's true. Older people are embracing text.
People.
Don't make assumptions as to how they want to be communicated with. Just ask them the question.
Exactly.
Okay. And then, we've got make a call, because if they give you the number, you've got the text, email. Okay. So again, I'll be happy to share this with the library. I don't think I published this one, but I'll be happy to do that. And then you can actually go find it for yourself. But I think that's, that's a wrap, right?
Just one last thing I wanted to just read out real quick was the 10 tips that came from ChatGPT. So you might not know what ChatGPT is, but ChatGPT is kind of a first iteration of AI that genuinely feels like AI, because you communicate with it, ask a question, and it gives you some advice based on its tremendous programming, which is where they've basically given it half of the knowledge in the world and uploaded it and asked it to read it. I think it's 300 years of knowledge they've given it up to 2021. But the interesting thing is it nearly copied the Shift book to the T. Yeah, the response was, so number 1, advertise the open house on social media and online real estate platforms. Put it in the MLS. I keep seeing agents running an open house and forget to put it in the MLS.
And why is that important?
Because it goes on Zillow. It goes on the apps. When people are driving around looking for houses, it goes, ping, there's an open house.
The syndication that you get from your MLS is phenomenal, because it syndicates to all of those major portals. So make sure you're putting it there.
Hundreds of sites as well. I mean, there's over 900 sites in the KW ecosystem. So getting it in the MLS, absolutely. Send out invitations to neighbors and past clients, so you can do flyers and pass those to the neighbors, so that they're aware and they can send people. So we talked about that. Hosting it at a convenient time. This is ChatGPT telling us. Think about your consumers. So they recommended weekend afternoons, not mornings,
right?
Afternoons. I don't know why. I'm not saying this thing's all seeing and all powerful, but it's just interesting that it said weekend afternoons.
Well, I would imagine that, I mean, speaking personally too, and through years of experience, 20 years of experience in real estate now, it's because it's the weekend, and families especially want to have their mornings. Right. And especially if it's on Sunday, a lot of people go to church, so you want it to be after that.
Well, it's the only thing that makes it different to any other day is you don't have to do anything that morning. So you don't want to start plugging it up with tasks.
Exactly.
So number 4 was offer refreshment and snacks to attendees. Again, I see that very commonly, but it's often not done. And I think it's a good tip.
It's also a cool way for your seller to get involved. So I went over to a friend's house. He's actually one of our insurance vendors, but he's a friend as well. And one of our agents, who's a very good friend of his, was hosting an open house at the house right next door. So I walked over there to talk to her, and the seller had made brownies, and they were fabulous.
Yes.
But I mean, you smell that baked goodness.
Yeah. And we didn't mention that the smell of the open house is extremely important. Cookies, cooking, warm coffee is so cool. Then highlight unique features of the property in the advertising. So, like with this particular home, it's the canal, it's concrete block, whatever it may be. That's the feature of that home that makes it stand out from the neighbors. Make sure you highlight it. Then it said number 7, provide detailed property information such as floor plans. So when we're doing the landing page, the property description is all there and all the information from the MLS. So that landing page takes care of that. Number 8, offer an incentive by means of a door prize for attendees. So again, great tip, and ChatGPT did pull that out, which I'm really surprised he does this, because it's not a book.
No, it's not, but it is scary how accurate it is.
Number 9, partner with local businesses and other professionals to cross-promote the events. That's your lenders and your home inspectors. And then obviously the fortunes in the follow-up. It even says here, number 10, follow up with the attendees post open house to ask some questions or provide additional information. So I thought that was just interesting that randomly a brain that's been built with a few lines of code comes out with the pretty much 7 levels that were in the shift book.
Yeah.
Maybe it read the shift book. That could be the truth. Yeah. All cool. Right. Cool. Well,
yeah. So
I think that's going to help people really boost their open houses and get bigger attendance.
Yep. So again, as we talk about the 201 Plus Club, today we focused on the plus part of the 201 Plus Club. As we did last week when Peter showed us Facebook ads, we're focusing on getting to that next level after 201 Plus, so getting in that 1,000 range. And we looked at how to create a Facebook ad to advertise that open house. And then we looked at creating an electronic sign-in sheet through command, 100% through command. We did that. The only free. Yep, for free. Yep. Right. The only thing we went outside of command for was the QR code. And actually, the flyer that I created in Canva, that can be done in command too in designs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's, we showed you a lot of great ideas to really look at your open houses at a higher level. We looked at page 71 in the Shift book that has the 7 levels of an open house. Now, Shift's a little bit of an older publication at this point. So it doesn't really it doesn't specifically mention certain socials and things like that, but you can include that obviously when it talks about web advertising, internet. It does say web in there, but so just think about that. The Shift is something you should be reading right now. If you're not, because we are in that market. And Peter mentioned it before. If you're looking for any of the Keller Williams books, you can go to, and this is cute, I love the way they did this, kellerinc.com. And that's not Keller Inc. as incorporated. That's Keller Inc. as in the ink to write the book. Okay. And I have Shift and I have MREA back there as well. And you can get the regular copies, or you can get the leadership edition that's already been spiral bound for you, and it is tabbed, which is really nice. Now, these cost a little bit more. I believe these are like $40 as opposed to the normal price of the paperbacks. But if you're an MCTT, or you're in a leadership position, or you just like a much more organized book with the tabs and everything, certainly easier to flip through, you can look at the leadership edition. All right.
Well, let's wrap up. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
So next week, are we going to do the YouTube?
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna give you some ideas again at a value level for adding YouTube video. And why do we focus on YouTube?
Well, it's the number 2 search engine. That's the main reason.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. So you should be capitalizing on video in your real estate business. If you're not, we're going to show you easy ways to do it. We're going to mention some more ChatGPT, because ChatGPT can make things super easy for you. In fact, I actually just did a video on ChatGPT for real estate agents, and I will link to that in the description below. So make sure you go check that out. Yeah,
one of our agents who's basically, we had a training session on starting a YouTube channel, and he's doing shorts. One of those shorts now, organic traffic is up to 2,000 views.
Wow.
In days.
It was just under 500 yesterday when we talked.
Yeah, it's wow. So people are getting traction, they're getting attention, and that will bring leads. So we're all good. Right, well, thank you, and we will see you all on Thursday next week at 10 a.m.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.